To be honest, I didn't even know that a product like this existed. Welcome to the Hippie Geeks. Let's take a look at Itehil's portable water purifier. Thanks to Itehil for sending over this unit for us to take a look at, and after watching the video, if you want to check it out for yourself, click on our link to their website in the description down below and use code JAMES40 to get $40 off your entire order. The first thing we need to do is get the unit unboxed and see what all it comes with. The unit is pretty well packaged inside of its box, with no empty spaces for the unit to move around. Once we remove the top layer of foam, the next thing is to pull out the accessory box that contains everything but the purifying unit itself. We will open that up in a minute to see what all this purifier comes with, but once that box was out of the way, all that was left to do was to remove the unit itself, which has a convenient carrying handle on the top to pull it out of the box, and also carry it around when you are actually going to use it. Getting into that accessory box, and the first thing that you will notice is the carry bag that it comes with that has both hose sets inside of it, and this is how you will likely carry them around once you have this thing unboxed. The first one I grabbed is the suction hose, which will pull water up and into the filter, and the next one is the outlet hoses, which clip directly into the unit on the other side. One of these will output the clean water, and the other one will output the wastewater. The foam pad on the bottom of mine was a little messed up, but I was able to flatten it out pretty easily and it stuck right back down, so it shouldn't be a problem moving forward. Next up is a USB-C cord that you can use to charge the unit, and you will want to make sure it is fully charged before you start using it. Next up are the two filters that it comes with, one of their hybrid filters and then a reverse osmosis filter, and we will get these installed in a little bit. Finally, there is a little plastic wrench that you can use to tighten and loosen the filters in the unit, which will help if you do not have a lot of grip strength, as they do get pretty snug in there once they are installed. Last but not least is the instruction manual, which may be helpful or not depending on how you feel about user manuals. Finally, we have the unit itself, and it comes in a plastic bag that you will need to remove. On the front of the unit there is the charging port with a rubber cover, the on-off button, and a button for each of the two filters. On the left side there is a port that the intake hose will get screwed into, and it has a cap to keep debris out when you are not using it. On the right side is the place where you clip in the output hoses, and it also has a cover that you will want to use to keep debris out of the unit when it is not in use. On top, there is a flip-up door, and this is where you are going to be able to install the water filters. They are clearly marked for which one goes where, with the hybrid filter closer to the front of the unit and the RO filter going closer to the backside. Now that everything is unboxed, let's go ahead and get this thing set up to run. First up, we are going to screw in the input hose, and after you pull open the debris cap, all you need to do is just screw in the end of the input hose that has the screw end directly into the unit and do it until it is hand snug. On the other end of the hose, you can see the cage on the end that should keep any larger debris out of the unit when you place this into a natural body of water like a river or pond. Flipping the unit around, and we can open up the debris cover on this side. With this piece, it should just clip directly into the side of the unit, and you will want to make sure that it is securely attached before you start it up. You can see which hose is marked as drinking water directly on the unit itself, so there shouldn't be any confusion about which one you should be using for the drinking water. They have also put a white insert into the end of the drinking water hose, and the final way you can tell which is that the wastewater hose is considerably longer than the drinking water hose. With all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and get the water filters installed. Now, I did read the instruction manual on this, and maybe I am just stupid, but I could not figure out what exactly they meant with how to install them. But I did see the part where it says that if you do it wrong, you could destroy the unit, which made me a little apprehensive. After I sat there and struggled with it for way too long, I did figure it out, and let me save you the time and heartache of figuring it out. If you look on top of the filters, there is the handle that you use to screw them into and out of the unit. On one side of that there is an arrow, and all that you need to do is point the arrow to the unlock icon that is on the unit, push the filter down into the hole, and then turn the arrow to the lock icon on the unit. That is it. I know that probably should have been obvious from the beginning, but for me at least, it was not. Once I figured that out, they did slide right into place and were super secure, which is where that white handle from the accessories box comes in. It will slip right over the top of the filter and allow you to easily unlock them to remove them if you need a little help or to tighten them up for that matter. With the unit completely set up, hooked up, and fully charged, let's go ahead and filter some liquids. The first thing that you are going to want to do is to run a first flush through these cartridges because they are new, and I'm just going to do this with some clean water that we already have, and I'm going to let this run for probably about a minute. Again, this is just something that you need to do with new filters, and once this process is finished, we will get to the actual testing portion. Now, a lot of the tests that I have seen folks run with these filtration systems are from pretty much clean water already, and it can be hard to see if the unit is actually doing anything at all. I do not live near any kind of murky ponds, so what I decided to do was let a gallon of black tea steep for 2 weeks inside of a couple of mason jars, and I figure that if this little unit can filter that down into clean water, it can do just about anything that you throw at it. You can see that I've poured all of the tea into a single gallon jug and placed the intake hose into it, so that should be good to go. Next up, I'm going to place the drinking water hose into another mason jar, and then put the wastewater hose into another jar so that we can spread it around the garden after this test. This is going to take a minute to get going, as the reverse osmosis process does take a little bit of time. But once it gets going, we will see the tea jug start to empty, with our drinking water jar starting to fill up with clear, clean water, while all of the impurities, along with some of the water, ends up in the wastewater container. I'm going to go ahead and let it filter until the clean water is full, and then we will try out the filtered water and see if I can taste anything weird. Alright, it has finished up, and as you can see, the drinking water is completely clear and looks great, and all of the impurities have been sent over into the wastewater container. The only thing left to do is try the filtered water, and I can happily say that it tastes like nothing, which is what you want from your water. Tastes just like normal water and not like iced tea. That's actually pretty incredible. After running this test, I am sure that this little unit can filter just about any freshwater source that you throw at it. There is really only one more test that I want to try, but that is going to have to wait for another day when the filter is closer to the end of its life. In an emergency situation when you need water, sometimes there will be no other option but to try to filter your own urine, and I would really like to see how this unit does with trying that. If that is something that you would be interested in seeing us try out, let us know in the comments down below. A big thank you to Itehil for sending over this unit for us to check out. If you would like to check it out for yourself, make sure to click on our link to their website in the description down below, and use code JAMES40 to get $40 off your entire order. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to click on whatever other videos Google is showing on the screen right now, as you will probably enjoy one of those as well. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video, and we will see you on the next one.